What's uppy?
Not too much.
Oh, just got through running my Pathfinder game. So that's always good. Stream is up and running, so that's super good. Cat's on the lap. That's super good. Excelsior is bursting at the seams. That's super bad.
Super normal.
That is why I am moving slowly but surely. Let me just take a look at the server numbers tonight. 2175, okay. Healthy, healthy. Healthy, healthy, healthy.
So you had some thoughts and questions, you said?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd like to... Let's see here. So I had, let's see. So you said you were looking at making, whatchamacallit?
Power sets, fire armor, radiation melee.
Now, let's see here.
Stop for a sec.
I know I was looking at... Hey, Cross, how you doing today? Yeah, I can't remember if I had like some serious thoughts or not about making another one, but...
Just looking for some company and figured it'd be a good place I need to start.
Mm-hmm. Seismic Blast, Storm Blast. Storm Blast is getting a pretty good rework soon. That should be coming out eventually. Reach for the limit. Burst of speed. Allowing you to move instantly between... Alright, Dragon's Tail. Throw sand, okay. That's what your martial artist does. He throws sands at people.
More of a street fighting thing than a martial artist.
That's dirty fighting. Doesn't sound like a good martial artist.
Exactly.
Yeah. They should call that like gang warfare. Time Lord. All your attacks will be charged faster and you're resistant to energy. Attacks and to disorient effects, movement debuffs, recharge debuffs. If you're affected by accelerated fuel, your power will recharge even faster and you'll become nearly immune to recharge debuffs. Oh wow, so Time Lord is always on. 20% strength to recharge. Interesting. Ignores buffs and enhancements. Hmm. Oh, I know. Let me see what I have on this page over here. Yeah, I have a level 1 blaster on the blue side. Never actually got off the ground.
Personally, I'm fine with blue or red side. Just do what you want to do.
Yeah, I have other characters that could work too, but that's the only one that I have at level 1 on Excelsior. I have a level 1 also on Torchbearer, because I built a new level 1 over there, Martial Arts Scrapper. Oh, he's up to level 10. He's been eating his Wheaties. It's so fast to get from level 1 to 10, I guess. I forgot that I did it.
He added a 0 at some point.
What's that? Yeah, he just added 0, yeah. I just went out and did a few missions really kind of quickish. With the double XP, it goes pretty fast, even without using DFB or anything. I was just trying martial arts because some people were talking it up. And I've been trying to get like just a good feel for it to see if it's really kind of a goodish power set for a scrapper. I've been trying to like figure out what I want to do for a scrapper. It's probably going to end up being the War Mason Shield character. But
I don't remember why, but I usually hear Street Justice over the martial artist for whatever reason.
Yeah, Street Justice is definitely got some followers behind it as well. Definitely.
I wonder if we'd ever get something like a grappling power set.
So usually, and you have that on Excelsior or on Torchbearer?
I like Excelsior, but I can move to another one if you prefer. I literally haven't done anything yet beyond grab an Ouro portive.
Yeah, probably we should do these on Torchbearer, which means I gotta copy my character over, slipstream over. Let me see if I made her costume, or if I saved it. Might have saved it.
Actually, I used to have characters on Torchbearer because I was the side for villain characters on my other guild or whatever. That moved them to Excelsior.
How are y'all doing tonight in the chat? I never saved the character. That's okay. Takes just a minute to do.
So should I move them to torch then?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Oh, I also did a Psychic Blast Willpower Sentinel. Oh, well, that didn't go anywhere.
They are now on torch.
Let's save this outfit here. Oops. Hey, Uncle, how are you doing tonight?
You want to do blue side or red side?
Oh, up to you, I suppose. Slipstream. Ooh. Oh, I see a wandering here.
I felt like wandering by.
Wandering by. Hey, that guy, how are you doing today? Alright, so this will be a blaster, because blasters are awesome. This will be water, because water is awesome. This will be time, because time is awesome.
You gonna name it water clock?
Slipstream.
That works.
Could call her Time Stream. Yeah, Time Stream's even better, I suppose. Time Stream, Slipstream. Time Stream's definitely got to be taken. Using Ouroboros to level, you guys helped a lot. Oh, that's good to hear. And are you saving up your merits, you know, and exchanging them for money so you can have your SOs? I don't want to say timely stream. That don't sound right. Getting millions, so yeah, you're all rich now. There you go. Absolutely, that's how you rock it, right? That's what we like to hear. I don't think I'll just stick with this one unless I put a big clock on her or something. I don't want to get too much into creating... Oh, I got some weird ass stuff on here. Some Minotaur heads. Ooh. What the heck? Gunslinger. Alright. Hey, Flipster, how you doing today? How's it going? They do have some crazy things on here. Let's see here. Back details, wings. Can I put some wings on her? I don't know. Probably not super thematic, but I just like the wings on characters. Smoldering.
Kept the design pretty simple on my side, just because the powers have enough effects as it is.
Yeah, level 41 in your controller. Nice. You're getting up there. You're getting up to the good levels.
Almost up to the big 5-0.
And then soon you'll be having to spend hours in mids making the character.
If you don't already.
So did you say hero or villain?
Made it on hero and was just gonna change if you wanted to do villain.
Oh, up to you. I'm good either way. Do I play all servers or just one? So I'm on Excelsior mostly, but I'm in the process of moving all my characters to Torchbearer. So right now I've only got like 10 characters on Torchbearer, and I've still got 40 left on Excelsior. You can only move 5 every 3 days, so it's a process, Omar.
Actually, a shorter cooldown than I thought it would be.
Yeah, let's ask chat. Do you guys want do you guys think this should be hero or villain? And
my name certainly doesn't work for a hero that well, but it is what it is.
And we're on Homecoming, man. Homecoming's the only place to be. Homecoming is where all the cool kids hang out. And now I have to make some AI artwork of this character real quick. Hey, John, how are you doing today? Pose against a black background. Background is shooting water powers. All right. All right, a villain. Everyone's saying villain. Oh, we have one hero. One hero, 2 villains.
Off the pocket, do you then? Thankfully, I more or less have them memorized at this point, so it shouldn't take long.
Hey, yeah, Pathfinder went great, Chaos. Thanks for asking. Gemini, though, has been really, really bad lately. So I've actually been having a lot of troubles lately getting pictures out of Gemini. It's like someone flipped a switch. and the style of I'm gonna try this again. It is not being very nice. I have Homecoming, but I play all servers. Putting all eggs in one basket is a big mistake. I don't know, Omar. Putting your eggs in a basket. I'm going to use a bad analogy here. In a basket full of holes is a bad mistake. You see, only one server is officially recognized by NCSoft. So the thing is, with private servers, you could have the bottom fall out of that basket at any time because NCSoft could send them a cease and desist, and those other servers might get shut down. Yeah, lately Gemini is telling me, oh, I can't generate the image you requested right now due to concerns from third-party consent providers. Please edit your prompt and try again. That is really, really weird. Oh, kind of lacking ideas for a new character. Well, look at how many character ideas I have. I have tons of ideas. I just can't get freaking Gemini to draw me a picture anymore. It keeps telling me third-party concerns, third-party concerns. I don't think this character looks like any copyrighted character I know of. Did I just accidentally make some world-famous Marvel or DC super? I finally got it to do something. Except it completely missed her wings in the back. But, yeah. I'm just going to save this for now. Beggars can't be choosers. Gemini's not playing nice in the sandbox. Yeah. You just start a few and try and decide what you want to play, and that, you know what, John, that's the problem I've been having with scrappers. I'm having trouble kind of nailing down which is the one I want to, take into the higher levels. So, and I think I'm probably just going to settle on the War Mace Shield character. Part of me wants to do another staff character because staff is so much fun, but I probably won't. I probably won't. All right, so let me just save this right here. And we will save this character as Slipstream. Save as. This is going into City of Heroes characters, and this is Slipstream. And now we'll have a picture to put on the stream for Slipstream. Slipstream.
An awkward moment when I went to Ouroboros and realized they didn't have a portal to Mercy Island, so I had to take them over to Earth.
Well, they don't have a portal. There's a door to Mercy Island because you can go in and out of Pocket D from Mercy Island. So there's.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember the name of what the starting area was, so I took the Ouroboros portal, and that portal doesn't have a Mercy Island one. Pocket D does.
Let's see what you guys are saying, what you're saying here. NCSoft has no formalities for any public servers. I've checked their official website. Please tell me links. You haven't found them yourself, Onmar? I don't know, Onmar. It's the official server, man. Let's see here. Homecoming official server. Let's see here. Here is a news. This is one of the many websites that announced this last year in January of last year, 2 years ago. So there is one officially recognized server, and that is Homecoming. So here, yeah, absolutely. And here's an article by PC Gamer talking about it as well, which anything from NCSoft. You've got world-renowned websites that interviewed NCSoft staff and the Homecoming team. What more do you want, man? They don't plaster on their website. I don't know what to tell you. They don't have to plaster on their website. It was all over the internet. Omar, they don't have to plaster it on their website for it to be true. It's announced on major news websites, along with the Homecoming website itself. Just because NCSoft didn't plaster a big poster on their front wall does not mean that it isn't true. Good for them. I'm glad they have an official newsletter. That doesn't mean that it isn't true. If just because I don't have the time and the bandwidth to go find. First of all, I don't have the time to go through all the newsletters and everything that they've done to go find it. You do you. It's probably out there somewhere. But I can provide you with a couple of quick links, which I can easily Google up, of major news article outlets announcing this, which people like PC Gamer wouldn't announce it if they didn't get it from a verified source, right? That's the thing about news outlets. They don't generally announce things without an official source. And it came from different news websites, which means they all verified the source of the information, along with the Homecoming website stating it. And NCSoft would obviously have a problem if one of the private servers stated, "We're officially NCSoft," and they never actually said that. NCSoft would come out and do something about that legally. So I don't know what more proof you want, if you want them to send a lawyer to your front door. Okay. Good for you, Onmar. You keep doing you. You keep doing you, buddy. We're going to stick, the rest of us are going to stick on the official server. Let me see what else. And I'm in Mercy, next to the Arbiter here in Mercy, the beginning Arbiter. Let's see what we're saying here. I just started illusionating and I've been taking my time on my main on Homecoming, only level 30. Fandom, I like taking time with my characters. I have several characters that don't even have a double XP. And in fact, the Mirage Monarchs character that I'm doing full videos on from beginning to level 1 and on, it's full playthroughs. You can watch those. No double XP at all on those characters, just soloing that character all the way, reading everything out loud, and whatnot. I played since live way back. I've dealt with all the archetype. Those just don't interest you. What doesn't interest you, Flipster? Oh, archetypes and power of ours. Yeah. Oh, you mean the Peace and Widows don't interest you? They don't interest me either, because I come to this game to play superheroes and stuff, and whatnot. And whatever have you. Well, you do whatever the hell you want, Omar. I'm just telling you why I don't play on the other servers, because I know which server is officially supported by NCSoft and which ones aren't. Because when I see it reported by various different major news outlets, I tend to believe it. Because you're not news outlets don't get the good reputation by making up stuff out of their rear end about official servers and then pulling it out of their ass. That's not the way major news articles, news outlet websites work, buddy. I know, I've worked for one. Sources had to be verified. If it was just like one news article or one outlet, you might say maybe they made a mistake. I don't even know why. I don't know what they would have to gain. But there was multiple ones announcing this. Here's our smart vendor up here. Let me grab some temporary powers. It's in the League EULA. When you download Homecoming, read the license there. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, I've been enjoying myself playing a few hours a day, me an Amazon type. Oh, nice. Street Justice and Shield. Nice, nice, nice. All right. I guess we'll get some double XP on these guys. So we'll grab a bunch of double XP. And you can get some prestige enhancements to start off with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully I didn't double up on one of those. Put one of these in my Aqua Bolt for now. Let's see. One of these has minor chance, minor energy damage, minor chance to knock down your target. Minor chance to inflict smashing damage. Minor chance to lethal damage and psionic damage. Cute. Nothing like psionic-y. Oh, temporary manipulation has a damage component to it. Oh, that's nice. Okay, off we go. I think that's all I need, right? Do I need anything else from this person? Oh, you can get the... Yeah, I don't need him. A blaster. What do I need? I don't need anything. I need someone to get a mission from. And whatnot. Shield Justice. Where do you get your enhancements? Where do you get your enhancements on the villain side? You get your announcements. You get your enhancements from this dude right over here on the other side of the bush. So you start off in front of Arbiter. This is basically Miss Liberty for this side. And then you get your SOs from the Quartermaster here. Yeah. 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 So, though I trust Fox News, Newsmax, and the such, generally speaking, when it comes to their facts. So if let me see if I can get a quest start. Let's go over here to Kalinda and see if we can take her mission. Since we're not doing Ouroboros, we both have to take the mission. We both have to turn it in to both get the credit. Ooh. And whatnot. Before we go out and do this, though, I usually like to just beat up some guys over here and get to level 2 real quick. You know, before we go and do a mission, just beat up a whole bunch of dudes over here. Everyone's level 2. Let's see here. Do I trust Fox News and all that stuff? So when it comes to facts, so there's difference between opinions and facts, right? So if the Fox reporter says, I don't like Donald Trump, that's an opinion. If they say, you know, Trump is the 32nd president or whatever have you, that's something that can be checked, right? That's something that can be fact checked. Generally speaking, news organizations are right the vast majority of time. It doesn't mean that they're not wrong or they don't occasionally lie or make mistakes. They do. But the thing is, when they make mistakes on facts, and we're already level 2, so now we can go and train. When they make mistakes, on things like that, they can be called out and held accountable and get sued, as some of them find out from time to time. So because of that, they don't make that many mistakes. And usually when they lie on purpose, it's because they have a motivation to do so. Like they hate Donald Trump, so they're going to lie about Donald Trump. Or they hate Joe Biden, so they're going to lie about Joe Biden. There is no motivation to lie about the Homecoming server within CSoft. There's no plausible explanation you can give me as to why major game outlets such as, PC Gamer would just suddenly start making things up and reporting it. Yeah, there's not a feasible thing you could give me that would convince me that, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've already got an AoE at level 2. Blasters are so good. Okay, now we can go to the mission. Mission, select task. Oh, we leveled up. Yeah, we just got new power. Oh, we got I got the enhancement. Oh, it's right here, by the way. Ha. Boop. Yeah. Yeah. You can keep looking all you want, Omar. Again, it's quite possible they just didn't decide to make an entire web page dedicated to this. You know, maybe they figured that releasing an official press release or talking to the press was enough to do it, that they didn't have to actually, you know, make an entire website dedicated to it. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, Omar, I think you're starting to get on people's nerves, buddy. Drop the NCSoft official website or I'll give you a timeout, bud. Okay? I mean, you can do you in the background, knock yourself out, believe what you want to believe, man. I mean, that's up to you, but you're starting to get on people's nerves because you sound like a broken record, dude. Just let it go, man. Or just do on your own thing. If you want to play on all the different servers, knock yourself out. You just ask me why, you know, if you ask me why I don't play on all the different services, because I'll tell you again, I know which one's the official one, and I'm going to continue to play on the official one, but you do you. Homecoming's where the most population is. Something about seeing other heroes and villains flying around doing things makes it so much better. Oh, there you go, Phantom. I like a more quiet thing myself, but I will say the Homecoming team has done a really, really great job with what they have here. They've got, I haven't really compared them with all the other private servers, but they've got so many things that they've done here. New zones, new story arcs, new task force, new archetypes with the Sentinel anyways. New archetype. This lieutenant wants to be a pain in the butt. That, yeah. I don't know if the other servers have really done as much work, you know, as Homecoming has done. Did I just kill her with one spell, or did you? Somebody killed her with one spell. Yeah. Yeah, so... Anyways, so I'm playing here in other news. I'm playing here with Ghost Yuki, and we're playing a couple of villains here. We're doing a blaster and a tanker, which is a really good combination, right? That's your spank and tank, your classic spank and tank combo, right? So we're trying this as a little dynamic duo. Go through some villain missions. How many of y'all said you want to see? A couple of y'all said you want to see some villain missions. Right? Now we're already ready to go to level 3 here. So that's going to give us a couple more time slots there. Time slots. Enhancement slots. Got a couple of enhancements to sell right here. Well, good for Thunder Spy Gaming. I'd much rather have a lot of additional content and rebalancing and new classes than customizable pets. Of course, it'd be nice to have both. But I'm going to take what I got here. We'll turn this into Kalinda. Ask about available missions. Jump down a snake hole. And boom. Yeah. There we go. The Sentinel is my favorite class, followed by the Dominator. I really, really love Sentinel. I do. You want to turn that mission right over here and we'll be on the same page. Be able to head to the next one. There we go. What was your favorite power set combo? I tell you, I really had a blast with Fire Blast Bio Armor. You get the extra damage from the Bio Armor, and it makes it feel like a lot of blasters in that regard. And you are... and you got a lot of extra to manage with that armor set to get the most out of it. You just click on that black hole there. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It is BioArmor. BioArmor has a lot of toggles on it, right? In order to get the most out of it, you got to manage BioArmor. And that's what makes it fun for me. With Will, or I did Invulnerable. Energy Blast is a lot. I have an Energy Blast Invulnerable, which is a lot of fun as well. With Invulnerable, there's really not a lot to manage there. You got to heal, and then you got emergency oh shit button. That's it. The other ones are just toggles that say turned on. Let's see here. If I only had something like a lasso from Amazon, I wonder if Web Grenade would work the same way. Oh man, a lasso would be really cool. Can you show some in-game content? Hey, Xplary, if you remind me after, we're gonna do a couple of story arcs here, here on Villain Side. Show some early gameplay and stuff. I could definitely load up. I could definitely show you some of the new content that Homecoming has introduced at the end game. I can certainly do that. I can. Let's see here. I would like to see a Thorn Blast like a Thorn Assault. That would be pretty cool. Sure. The closest lasso would be Demon Summoning Whip Powers. Yeah, probably. I mean, one of y'all was telling me earlier that you picked Mastermind and went Petless just for the Whip Power. I didn't know if one of y'all was joshing or not. I was waiting for that AoE to come off a cooldown there. That's what we call the water money maker there. Gonna have to want a fire king controller because I remember those being good. Think I made a mistake. Flee for your lives. I have a video called How to Solo a Controller. It came out a few weeks ago. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Watch it. It'll change how you play the controller. Or if you want to wait for an hour or so when I get through these story arcs, I could show you my fire controller. It is super, super, super fun, but you gotta build it right. You gotta know what you're doing. I can tell you the short version of it. If you got a pen and paper handy, take a little notes. There's level 4. You're going to have to try Mastermind one of these. I love Mastermind. Mastermind is a really, really great class. It was the second class I leveled to 50. And in the original game, it was the one I got to the highest level because it's a really good solo class. You should really be playing. Well, I can play. I like playing, dude. I don't need much excuse to play that controller. It's so much fun. That controller right now is level 14, 15, and I've soloed that character up from level 1. If you had asked me a month ago what was my least favorite class to solo, I would have told you Defender. If you said what was your second, I would have told you Controller. Now Controller is one of my favorite. It really does help right now playing my controller now with Arcane Bolt. Yeah, that guy knows about the secret. It comes down to using Arcane Bolt and knowing how to use it in rotation, and suddenly you become, in low levels, we're talking like level 4, 5, 6, you become a soloing savant. And my controllers, before you even get the pets, my low-level controllers right now are competing with my dominators to see who can kill the fastest. Now, the catch is it only works because of Arcane Bolt. Arcane Bolt is specifically made for controllers. And learning when to use Arcane Bolt in your rotation. Here's a hint. Don't open with Arcane Bolt. Let's see here. Aging Touch, Affected Energy, Helpless. Let's do another Hydroblast now. Excavate, eliminate the affected. Let's go. And let me manage my enhancements. Don't I have another cool enhancement? Oh, I used all 5 of them. Poop. That's okay. I'll just have to go without for now until we finish this story arc. Story arc is calling me. Back the game was live. I was like 15 or so I never got far back, but I did play it. I like the superheroes, so this is the one that lets you build what you want. Yeah, and I never got to level 50 in live. My heroes only got into the teens, and on City of Villains, I got my mastermind to the 30s, but I never got... Leveling was so much slower. Here, you can play a bunch of different heroes. You can level them up as fast or slow as you want and have a really good time. Yeah, Mastermind is absolutely necessary for solo leveling on controllers unless you're an extremely patient person.
Didn't realize you went inside already.
What's that?
Didn't realize you went inside already. Was standing outside the door.
No. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah. I thought there was only 2 of them by themselves, and they brought like 3 friends with them. So we got to see how well a level 5 or level 4 blaster could handle 5 enemies at once. It was great. Let's see here. What are you guys saying? What's up with Arcane Bolt? I've never used it. So Arcane Bolt has language in it that it essentially does extra damage to things that are held and mobilized and everything else, right? Which means it would work good with Dominators or anything else. But the thing is, controllers also have an ability that says that they do extra damage whenever something's held. It basically doubles damage. So what happens, you take Arcane Bolt's specific good damage and you double it. And so it ends up doing incredible damage with a controller. Particularly through the lower levels. Now, this damage, we have to kill everything, by the way, so we might want to kill everything else in this room before moving on. Because there's stuff up there on the rafters. Yeah, so when you get into higher levels, you get into your even in your teens, you'll start to feel it doesn't kill as fast anymore. No matter how you enhance it, and then your 20s, it's going to slow down even more. But by that time you get there, and you start really feeling the pinch, you're going to have pets with most of the most of the stuff. So DCO and CO is terrible compared to these. I absolutely agree. and whatever have you. Have you ever made an illusion radio controller? Heard they're great solo bosses. So no, I have heard they're good boss. They're good. I still think you need to use this trick though, because you don't get those pets until later on. So you need something to get you through those early levels, unless you're just gonna like group up and do DFZ or whatever have you, or DFB I mean, until you get to the pet levels. You can do that. The other thing I've also asked about the whole illusion thing is I know the pets are insanely good, but the problem is they're a 4-minute cooldown. They only last 1 minute. What do you do in between? Well, you just wing it in between. So for 1 minute out of every 4 minutes, now you can get that down with reduction, right? So 1 minute every 2 minutes you're good, and then the other minute you're just kind of humping it along, I guess. I don't know. It seems like a weird playstyle to me, but I know it's a classic. I have gone with Fire Kin. Because that's another classic from the old days, and that's the character I'm telling you guys about, Cinderfuse or whatever her name is, and I can't wait to get her pets. But even without her pets, so much fun to play. So much fun to play. I'll play that character anytime you guys say, "Hey, can you go play that character?" As soon as I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I'll play that character because it's so much fun. So much fun. All right, what else are you guys saying? Arcane Bolt procs huge damage after you get enemies contained with your Mez power. Right. And people ask me, can you use this on a Dominator? You can, but you're not going to get the double damage bonus, that you would normally get on a controller. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. And not to mention you have enough attack powers already on Dom. Yeah, it is way faster, especially if you use double XP Flea. Of course you can, that's what we're using here. We're using double XP. I think we're level 5 now. So we are cruising along in the levels. I've got like so many characters. There are some characters I do take very, very slowly. But those are usually special projects for my streaming content or my video content and whatnot. Radiation helps you with cooldowns. Oh, that's nice. Well, when you say they can be perma pretty easy, can it be done with only SOs before you hit 50? Or is it one of those things that it's past 50 and you've got all these enhancement bonuses and stuff and it costs you a lot of money? Because I can tell you, like, getting permadom, for example, on Dominator is not a simple or cheap task. The other thing to do with illusion damage, they don't kill the enemy they're attacking. When they despawn, the enemy gets some health back. Yeah, that part kind of looks a little messy and confusing. I'll eventually... Well, so Mirage Monarch, the villain that I'm making the videos out of, doing the full story arcs, she is illusion. She's illusion dominator. Her secondary, though, I believe is psychic. So we'll see how well that holds up. That was a viewer choice, so yeah. And speaking of viewer choice, we are getting closer and closer to those 1,000 subscribers and having a big 1,000 subscriber celebration. It's probably going to be this Friday. And when we do that, we're going to make a community-built hero. And we just got our reward merits, by the way. So let's exit that mission. So what you just saw us do here, if you're new and you're watching, you just saw us do the first villain story arc from Kalinda, or whatever her name is, right there in the front. You do the 3 or 4 missions she gives you, and you walk out with 7 reward merits. 7 reward merits right there. 7 reward merits. Now we're going to show you how to convert that easily into a quick $1 million or influence or whatever you want to call it. Because Princess needs her enhancements. Let's see here. Let's see. That's the main reason for it to be paired red. So you can suppress the region with the other debuffs. Yeah, time both have that give huge recharge bonuses. So there you go. Yeah, I've always kind of felt like the one thing I've said about Controller is the same thing with Corruptor and Defender. You have to pick these right power sets or they just don't work nearly as well in solo. Whereas, like, you can pick almost anything for Brute, Sentinel combinations, Mastermind combinations, and some are clearly a lot better than others. But just about any of those will work and get you through normal content. Let's see here. We'll put one in there. We'll put one in there. And now we're going to show you guys how to make tons of money with this. So step number 1, we're going to come over to this Quartermaster and sell all of the miscellaneous enhancements we got while we were leveling up. So we have a little bit of starting money. Very important. You need a little bit of starting money. Number 2, we need to go to the merit vendor, which if you look at your map on Mercy Island, you can blow that up. It's right down there. Right there. Just go ahead and, you know, click on that, and then it'll light up on your map so you can go there. You got lucky someone gave you 50 million. Well, that's cool. That's cool. But you might want to know how to make money in the future, because 50 million later on does run out. So we'll show you how to make money real fast. So you're going to see right here, I come to this merit vendor, and we can buy some salvage with the merits we got. We can buy some enhancement converter salvage. So you get 3 of them for 1 reward merit. We got 7 reward merits. Now open up the auction house with /AH, and that brings up the auction house. Anywhere you're at, you can bring up the auction house as long as you're not in a dungeon or something. So then open up my salvage inventory and bring over those converters. All right, they're selling for about 55,000 each. I'll go ahead and post them for 1, and they'll sell for 55,000 each. So I get my influence. That's 158,000. That's from 1 merit reward. I got 150,000 roughly. So for 7, that's over $1 million. Okay, which I'll go ahead and just do that right now just to get $1 million. So you guys know I'm not blowing steam up your butts. Post those real quick. Post those real quick. Sell and profit. Get my influence. I've now got 1,049,000. And that, my friends, is what we call quick dinero. Quick dinero. And we did that in the first 30 minutes of playing villains. Another story arc will take us about 20 more minutes. We'll do that one. And I'll make, like, I think the next story arc is 8 merits. And then we'll be set. Now, the problem with villain story arcs is that a lot of the later story arcs, and by later, I mean literally level 10 on, do not pay out this fast and for this many. You can't expect to profit this well. Villains start off very rich, and then their story arcs get a little cheap. There are some good ones out there to be found. They're very uneven, very, very uneven. But the villains tend to be a little bit cheaper overall than the heroes. And with my $1 million now, I can come over and buy my SOs and whatever have you. I'll wait till level 7, actually, because we're almost there. But that's how it works. That's how it works. Excellent. Influence making advice for newbies, another. Yeah, absolutely, Master. And we've got videos. I've got videos explaining this more slowly that you can rewind and rewatch and everything like that. I picked pets, but I picked Dominator at the same time with Mind Control, Radioactive Assault. You picked pets, but you picked Dominator at the same time. I'm the winner. I think you'll have to explain that one a little bit better to me. Mind Control doesn't have pets, if I recall correctly. So I'm not sure what that means. You're going to be rich. Yeah. Now, you can use this converters for other more important things later on. There's a reason why people want to buy them. But for new players looking for quick cash, it's a good way just to start off right away without having to ask for handouts, especially if you're on a slower server. Also 5 merits for getting the exploration points in Atlas. Yeah, we're going to go over that. We could go over that now, but I need, I guess we could go get the exploration points now. That's another 5. Or we could do another story arc. Let's do both. Let's get... I usually get asked at some point. Let me go to the start vendor here. Let me just... I always like to buy prestige powers, utility, Inner Inspirations, which is free. And then I like to buy Reveal, which reveals maps. For travel, you can do the temporary powers, and you can buy a flying temporary power to get around. Usually I pick up my trial power by level 14, so I don't like to rely on these too much. But you can always buy some more flying. It gives you a free flight pack at level 2, so and whatnot, and whatever have you. There's a familiar looking Chaos Man over here giving us an aura portal to click on. Thank you very much, Chaos. Pick the pet category when choosing the archetype and just you pick the pet category, and then it kind of screws you over because there is no pet in mental. Yeah, easy money at that point. You're right, Gal. Can't help it. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah, the bad thing about villain auras, though, is like with hero auras, you can go right back to Atlas Park really easily. With villain auras, it takes a few more steps to get back to Mercy. We have to just run back to the ferry right here. Yeah, it's kind of funny that they say it's the pet category and they put dominators in there just for you not to get a pet when you pick certain dominator power sets or controller, right? Mental on controller has no pet either, if I recall correctly. Did you get that aura portal there?
I already had it. That's why I was delayed getting over here in the first place.
Ah, fair enough. Okay, let me fly my candy bud over there. Unless you want
still need to turn in the previous one.
True. Let's see here. Defeat all the snakes in the area.
Also, when in a party with and you're doing the same missions, when one person finishes, it sends a pop-up asking if you want to auto-complete it as well, or if you don't and just want to do it on your own.
Yeah, but the autocomplete you can only use, I think it's on like a week-long cooldown. So it's really just for a mission that you really, really don't want to do or you're really, really stuck on.
That's not the one I'm talking about. Like when we finish one of our missions, I get a pop-up asking if I also want to complete it.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Or if I want to complete it on my own.
Yeah, that's how I usually do these in Ouros. It's a little bit cleaner and easier. It's easy to get desynced if we're not careful.
I don't know why you would ever say no, but whatever.
Yeah, you want to go and do it by yourself. Yeah, I don't know. You don't like merit rewards.
Like, why would I say no to the rewards?
You don't want to be... yeah. So, let's see. What are you guys saying now for me? Is this Excel or Torchbearer? This one's on Torchbearer. We're on Torchbearer. Yeah, on the villain side, it's always hard to tell because it's dead no matter where you're at. But it is Torchbearer. Here's a question. What's your go-to travel power? Does it depend on character? It does depend on the character, but in the absence of any other information, like this character is not based on anything. A lot of my characters are based off my own comic book characters or off of Marvel or DC or some concept like a 007 agent. But for like a character like this that's just kind of generic, I'll almost always go with Flight. Flight's easy. Flight's kind of easy, but I like Super Jump as well. Teleport takes a little more work.
Also, depending on the map, some travel powers can be a bit annoying to use.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, some of those things are a bit confusing. Pet categories, but you can make choices that give no pets. Right, there should be some more. Yes, you're absolutely right, Master Finn. There should be some more choices. And I apologize for the delay in responding to some of you guys. Unfortunately, there's a very big time delay when you're streaming on YouTube. So I see your messages quick enough, but then by the time I say my answer, by the time it gets to you, it could be a hot minute or so. So, and you know, especially if I'm in the middle of killing something. So, yeah. I will tell you that. Whatchamacallit, on characters that I don't take flight on, I make sure to have a jetpack for temporary flying, because there's just certain caves and stuff where it's nice to be able to fly to get a better angle and view on things. Now I heard 2 people level up at the same time. Hey, how's it going, Doomer? My villain uses super jump. She's a vampire. Uses savage melee and regen. There you go. You could use either jump or fly, and then use the effect that makes it look like there's a bunch of fog coming from you, because you know vampires can turn to fog, or maybe maybe there's a bad effect. Except when it's more thematic to use others. Yeah, super jump is a lot of fun. Yeah, I do like super jump. Okay.
Nice to be able to just call the contact.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to call the contact. Defeat all the snake. Oh, and we're level 6, so get another power. For those who don't want to use it when a child, say they can get flight powers from the start vendor. Yeah, well, I mentioned you can get the jetpack. I always pick up the jetpack for characters that take jump or whatever, because sometimes you just need to fly route temporarily, teleport even. But I personally always choose a travel power by 14, because you can't mod the stuff that comes from the smart vendor, and I like flying very, very fast, or jumping very, very fast, and whatnot. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm saving up best looking flight power for a prize. That might be, yeah, go in style. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't argue with that. Let me put this over here so it's not behind the character artwork. How's that for AoE damage? Man, I got like 2 AoEs at level 6. It's insane.
It is satisfying to see them all grouped together and then explode.
I always like to pick a child power and later something like combat jump or hover later. There you go. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I had to fix my chair there. Really does like to make things really attached together there. Hey, Lowercast, thanks for stopping by. Okay. Oh, we got a red one up ahead.
And boss spends half the fight getting juggled.
So much juggling. I tell you, I asked people, why would somebody play a scrapper over something like a stalker or whatever, and someone told me the AoEs. And man, I tell you, it's hard to compare. You know, it's hard for me to play some of these melee people and deal with their AoEs when the blasters AoEs and the sentinel are, and corruptor, I suppose, they're all kind of using the same thing, but they're just so much bigger. They get so many more enemies. Like, these are true AoEs. The others are just fake AoEs.
It's one reason I like the cyclic melee is their final ability is a giant AoE.
Yeah, giant AoE for the win.
And even better, it's a knock-up, so it basically popcorns the entire room.
Okay, that was a little hairy. Depends on what flavor you want. I want the flavor that makes me feel like I'm living a power fantasy, not the one that feels like I'm cutting people with a butter knife.
Off tanker.
So the funny thing is, so I play a lot of Muso games like Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors and stuff. And those games, most of those, the vast majority of those weapons are melee weapons, but they have nice, juicy AoEs, and they feel so satisfying to play. And then I come here and I play a melee character with AoE, and it feels like the AoE circles are much smaller. And then there's these cones. These cones on AoE melee. What does that even mean? Like, it's such a tiny cone. It should be called more like the spot in front of you. If enemies are really stacked really nicely. You know, that's what it should be called, because it's really hard to get. You know, like, I consider it almost like this entire mini puzzle for me to position my character exactly to where I can get 2 enemies in those cone AoEs. Because it's yeah, unless they're super stacked on top of you, it can be really tough to get more than one and get value out of it. I do find it a little frustrating compared to playing like melee on Dynasty Warriors games. But here, the blasters and the sentinels, the range attackers absolutely exceed my expectations, right? They feel very powerful. Their AoEs are huge. The controllers control. I'm always astounded by like some of these AoEs I'll do on a controller, and it just blocks out the entire room with one. You know, and then I go play like Guild Wars, and it's like you can stun people in this tiny little circle, you know, at a distance. They're like, what? What? Oh, wait. See, we got desynced somehow. I didn't turn something in, it looks like. I thought I turned it in, and I guess I didn't, so I have to take Cyrus down. So yippee-ki-yay. Oh, maybe that is the current
That's
mission.
the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing. Okay.
You just hadn't turned in the last one yet.
Let's see here. What are we, level 7 now? Let me go buy some enhancements then. Yeah, so let me see what you say. It depends on what flavor. Personally, I like melee, always taking punches to the face and then dishing it back. Yeah, there's times I like. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just say I won't love it. There's definitely times I'm in the mood for it. And lately I'm on a crusade to level up my melee characters. War Mace has been a lot of fun. So I'm on a crusade to do it. But yeah, it's definitely been... It definitely sometimes I just want to go and play a Muso game and really kill 100 people at once. Or a range character. Yeah. The cones just feel so small and restrictive in particular. Energy melee does it well.
The cone would probably be more accurately described as a line.
Yeah, like on range characters, it does feel more like a line in most of the powers, which is also a little irritating. But in melee, it's like a line that barely goes outside the range of your sword. It literally is.
Yeah, it's a line about the length that your character is tall.
Yeah, that's about right.
You AoE about 5 feet in front of you.
Let's get a recharge here for that whirlpool. Let's manage these things up. What is this? Brings it down to 43 seconds. So I need 2 accuracies. 2 accuracies, and how much damage are we talking about? 34. 2 accuracies and a damage. 2 accuracies, a damage. 2 accuracies, a damage. 2 accuracies, 2 damage. 2 accuracies, 2 accuracies, 2 damage. 2 accuracies, 2 damage. Yeah. You get a damage, you get an accuracy, you get an accuracy, you get more damage. Okay, we're feeling good now. Ah, so much better. Earth control is insane. Oh, I need to get to earth control. It's on the list. If stomp is fun. Yeah. Yeah, I believe y'all. It's on the list. It's on the to-do list. Throwing punch kicks, you have to get in precision. I mean, you know, it's a video game. I'm okay with things not always 100% making sense. There's a lot of things in City of Heroes that don't 100% make sense. So a jetpack that's blowing flames right on your butt and somehow doesn't burn it all off doesn't make sense, right? But we wear the jetpacks anyways. So give me a little anime flavor. In Pathfinder and D&D, we talk about the discrepancy between magic users and melee, and how do you make them, because melee's always felt weak in all prior editions. So how do you make them feel great? And the answer is basically turn them a bit into anime characters. Let them do some cool kind of anime shit.
It's a weird case because we had the same mission, but they were in different places.
So
I was waiting by a different hole because that's the one my mission sent me to.
Oh, that's silly. Let's see here. You like the fire on the bike? Everyone's laughing at the fire jetpack on your butt. Seriously, it's blowing flames out right on my character's ass. Right? I mean, there's no space between the ass and the fire there. That character, you're this way. Why are you going back out?
I turned around for some reason.
Yeah. Um, yeah. New character using jetpacks named Toasty Buns. Yeah, you should name them Toasty Buns. I always like my buns toasted. That's fair. I like using the rocket boots custom choice and then adding flight effect and the taking flight powers. Yeah, absolutely. I also love wings. I don't know what this character's theme is ultimately going to be. She's a water blaster with time manipulation. I just call her Slipstream or Time Stream, something like that. But I don't really have like a true character concept in mind. But I love wings on characters. You'll see that on my melee character. I love wings. You used to play a ton of DVD. I run Pathfinder every Saturday. That's where I've been most of the day. And Wednesday nights, which is a more complicated version of D&D 5th edition these days. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, Wings with Fly is really awesome. And they did a really good job with the wing animations. I've had birds before, and the way that the bird kind of does a couple of extra flaps when it lands, they did that really good. Pathfinder's amazing. I only play the Outcat versions of it though. Second edition is more tactical. With first edition, it was if you had players who knew what they were doing and players who were new, there would be a huge disconnect in power. Second edition keeps the power a lot closer. Everyone's generally needed to win a fight. But there's still some very powerful combinations, and the best combinations are when people work together. So it's really well done. It's very tactical. And as a result, feels very satisfying.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
Absolutely. That guy, that fire controller, I'm telling you, oh, you're going, that's a good reason. I'm going to say, don't go backwards again, but I guess if there's a snake back there, it's a good reason. The character I was telling about, the controller, the fire controller, is a fairy with wings that I have. Right, you can actually see Flicker Fuse. That's her name. See Flicker Fuse? That character right there. See, if I talk long enough, my whirlpool will come back off a cooldown. And there's 8 reward merits just like that. So we got 1 million with the first set of reward merits. I could get 1 million, more than 1 million, because this set I'm not desperate for money since I'm sitting on the leftovers of my 1 million. So I could put those auctions at a higher price and make a little bit more money off of these, or save them up or whatever for bigger things. Yeah, that's our second story arc right there. Get you to level 7. Let's go grab the exploration-y badges around here and get those 5 to, or get those 8 of them to get 5 more reward merits. That brings you up to 13, which is worth at least 2 million. So there is the one that's next to the Arbiter, which you should get automatically. There's one here at the Tiki Lounge right here on the ground. Then we will slowly fly, let's say up to here. And we're going to grab on the parapet over here. It's either here or here. Let me see here. It's probably over here. There it is right there. Boom. That's another one. Then we'll fly over to here very slowly. This makes me want to start a new character just so I can get these sweet reward merits. Yeah, villains start off. So with your villain, in the first hour and a half of play, you can have 20 reward merits And that should get you about 3 million off the auction house. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. You can actually maximize it to 4 million later on, but we'll just stick with 3 million as a conservative estimate. You're right, that guy. You're absolutely right. I should totally do that. I should totally make an alternate outfit because you can color the powers and everything. Color her fire powers and everything. You're absolutely right. I should totally do that. There's another one right there. Right around here on the sand somewhere. I know it's here. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Where's it at? Let me zoom in really closely. I know it's here. Oh, I'm on the wrong beach. Yeah, it's this
on
beach.
the other side.
Yeah, it's this beach. There it goes. And now we got to go to the other side of Arachnos Island. And whatever have you. Let's see here. Starting here. If anyone wants to team up, yeah, Phantom Zero, the best bet is to come hang out with our Discord, start talking to people, get to know people. My personal attitude is you know, I usually hang out in voice chat when I play, like I'm doing right now. Sometimes I'm streaming. A lot of times I'm streaming. But sometimes I'm just hanging out in voice chat. I'm not even on YouTube. And if someone else sees me on, they come in and we start chatting, say hi to each other, get to, you know each other a little bit. And at the same time, it's like, hey, you want to go run an Ouro? Yeah. And the whole thing with City of Heroes is there's just not enough chiefs. There's too many Indians. There's a ton of, whatchamacallit. Everybody wants to be in teams or in groups, but nobody wants to run them. So, including like Ouros, duos, triples, whatever. Even though Torchbearer is a slower server, I guarantee you if I jump into the looking for group channel and say, I am running this on this, people will come. People come because people are always looking. And there's my 5 reward merits right up there for doing all of those locations. So, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's like I was 6 again, right? All right. Now I know one of y'all asked to see high-end content, and one of you or two of you were talking about the controller, maybe showing you how a single solitary low-level controller works and how that works really well. Are any of you still in the chat? Because I didn't write down your names, and I've already forgotten who asked for what. Because we might put a pin in this dynamic duo, or we might continue with it. Just depends on what people want to do. I need to spend more time on Discord. Yeah, that's where I usually hang out now. I'm not there much during the week. I'm more of a weekend player because I work a lot during the week. But every once in a while on a weekday, you might see me there. I just want to hold my breath, especially Monday nights. Monday nights, I usually peel away to do the stream. But Tuesdays, Wednesday nights are Pathfinder. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually running errands and chores. So... yeah. Totally. Yeah, we can see, but we can see on this character, we have 13 reward merits in the bank. So worth another 2 million. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Yuki, for running this with me. We'll do some more later if you're around and still interested in stuff. I think it's worked out.
Sure, I can go do other stuff for now.
Yeah, pretty good first impression there, right? That was really super strong comment. We could have easily bumped that up to ×3, I think. You didn't look like you were having too much problem handling it.
Pretty much just the red enemies that popped up did a decent number.
Yeah, it does like to throw bosses in there with your 2 people, which makes me hesitant to like set the difficulty any higher at this low level. You're right, the bosses are what's going to throw you for a curve. They hit pretty damn hard and they're a bit beefy to take down. So, you know...
I mean, I've got inspirations in a pinch, but wouldn't want to crank them up too much higher.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of inspirations at this low level either, so... yeah, so let me park this character in pocket D. I'm not sure what the villain... does anybody know what the villain equivalent at the police station is? need to look that up. So I think the police station, if you log on the police station, you get like extra XP or something like that. Well, so the question, Master, is can you do the low levels? And yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how we do low levels with fire. Like Firekin has always been strong for solo, but what do you do before you get the pets? Right? What do you do? We're gonna show you real quick. Well, shit, what, Flea? Why are we shitting for, Flea? Don't shit yet. I haven't pulled up the character yet. Just had to make sure a character wasn't on this server. So for me personally, if you're telling me a class is only good once they get the pets at level 20-ish, that's not fun. Not to mention, I've leveled up a couple of controllers and got the pets, and they still weren't doing that great, honestly. It just depends. I have this plant controller here that I ran, and that was probably the better one because it could confuse people, but confused enemies don't do a lot of damage. They take damage debuffs, accuracy debuffs, something, and it's slow killing. And even with the plant pet is cute, but it's like having one pet from the mastermind. So it isn't great damage. So the question is, how do you do it? And how do you get through the levels before you get the pet? And the answer is basically it's stuff. Well, we're going to do this Rescue the Mystic from the Circle of Thorn. This one's a really easy one to do. One mission. First, I'll show you the build. So we're using fire kinetics. We have no pets yet. We have Ring of Fire and Char, which is your 2 single-person holds, and we want to make sure we use that for extra damage. So we got that spec for damage for the most part. Fire Cages is our AoE hold, and I've just got some enhancement energy reduction in that, accuracy, and a little bit of extra damage. Nothing super crazy on that one. Hot Feet I haven't made a lot of use of yet, and Smoke just lowers things' chance to hit you. These 2 powers are not very important to what I'm doing right now. In kinetics, we got Siphon Power, which gives you some extra damage. Now, for talking about controllers overall, this is not critical, but this is just what I have on this character. And we have Transfusion, which lowers the regeneration rate and heals you and your allies. The big part of these builds is, and I'll try to move the fairy out of the way, is Sorcery, Arcane Bolt. You'll notice I have 6 slots in it. 2 recharge reductions, 3 damages, 1 accuracy. You need this thing hitting hard, you need it hitting often, and you need a little bit of accuracy. 1 accuracy is good enough to hit same level mobs, 95% of the time at the cap. If the mob's 1 level above you, you might be down to 85-90%. So you shouldn't be fighting things too far above you too often. It's considering that the extra red gives you an extra 33%, it's not worth it for an extra 5% accuracy to trade one of those out. And recharge reduction keeps everything coming back quick because this is your bread and butter damage dealer. And to show you what I mean, Ring of Fire does 26 points of damage modded. Char does 26 points of damage modded, right? What does Sorcery do? 125. Okay, 125. So, with that being said, let's go and... Oh, someone's tagging me. Let's go and show you how this works. Let's show you how it works. We need to go to Perez Park. I think I just long-range teleport to Perez Park. Boop. Where's my character picture at? There we go. Yeah, I like these little wings, by the way. Aren't they cute? It's a really small character, but like super hummingbird wings. All right, you watching, Flea? We're gonna show you how this works here. Tell you what, we're even going to make this really difficult, and we're gonna set this up to two people, times 2. Get some big boy groups this way. Alrighty. Maybe there's some enemies in this cave somewhere. Oh, here we go. So here's a whole bunch of enemies right here. So the first step is to hold them all down. And then you want to arcane bolt them. And you can see that minion almost died just from that first arcane bolt. And we'll move on. We'll throw some chars on him to finish him off, or some low-level stuff to finish him off. Looks like I missed with that arcane bolt. Looks like... There he goes. There goes that guy. Oh, this little guy got away. So hold him, then arcane bolt him. Boom. And just let him cook for a minute. Bye! See how fast? Boom. I didn't even use my kinetic powers there, by the way. So with fire, with sorcery, what else? Concealment leap. You don't necessarily... So this trick works with almost any decent controller power set. I've got my video. I show you 3 controllers I use this on. I use it on a dark. I use this on an ice. Maybe it's ice. And then I use it on this fire kin. The key is sorcery, and making sure you use sorcery after you hold them with a hold power. Period. So we got a bunch of guys right here. We're going to hold them all down. Notice I'm not even using the kinetic powers with this yet, which would help me do more damage. Yeah, that was kind of evil. These guys do mez. I don't like mez. So just hold them. And then hit him hard. Now that's a lieutenant, so he's going to take a couple of arcane bolts to take down. And there he goes. That's a lieutenant there, right there. Gosh dang, that darn mezzing. That's cheating. Alright, we're going to break free, I think, before he kills me. No, it used to be mezzed in this cave. That's what I get for putting it on ×2. Was it dark? Pretty easy, though not the strongest. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Like I said, this is a real easy mission. Quick 3 merits that you can make. You get into too few fights, and you get in, you get out. Now they are going to send an ambush. Usually get at least 1. So you got to be ready here, especially if you're playing squishy class. You don't want to run face first into death. These guys are kind of disappointing me a bit. This has got to be the least populated dungeon I've ever played. What did I have there? 2 fights? Well, okay, here's the door. That's the easiest 3 merits you'll make right there. That was a little anticlimactic. Oh, and I leveled up again. So, just to kind of demonstrate, this is a large group over here, but they're very low levels, so we'll see how many we can hold at the same time. But the strategy is hold them, then arcane bolt them. You can definitely, use your char and your hold and your other powers as you have need. But your general bread and butter is to hold them and then smack them with this. I don't know how much damage Hotfoot does. I guess eventually this might kill him. But that means being this close to people. I don't like being this close to people. So does that make sense there, Flea? Just make sure you get Arcane Bolt and make sure you use it after you hold enemies. That's it. Generally speaking, once you get your group immobilized, a lot of the power sets have group immobilized around 6th level, I think it is, 4th or 6th level. That's usually the fastest way to get everybody under control and start taking that extra damage from containment. Oh, see, we got a little extra friend right here who wants in on the action. Just use a single target hold on him, and then Arcane Bolt him. He'll regret messing with you. How's Wandering doing today?
I'm doing well. I was listening to you talk about playing a controller, and I was trying to think of the next line.
Okay.
Well, it's because it was almost reminded, because you're talking about holding him and bolting him, so I was almost thinking of the Gambler song. It's like, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to bolt them. Then I couldn't come up with another line for that.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, but I mean, it isn't just, I mean, I'm sure everyone, you know how to play a controller. I wasn't saying you don't know how to. I just didn't know if you know how to use Arcane Bolt to really expedite the low-level process before you get pets, right? I think once you get pets, everyone figures out their own way. The pets are incredibly effective, particularly with certain combinations like Firekin, for example. They're so good that honestly most people solo with them without using Arcane Bolt or anything else. And they feel like that's fast enough for them, right? Like any controller can solo. The problem has always been how fast do you want to solo, right? Before I figured out the Arcane Bolt trick, I was just mostly using my T1 and T2 powers to do most of the damage before I got pets, which is very slow killing. If I had a confuse power like on Illusion, I could at least confuse one of them to help me out, or plant and confuse a bunch of them to help me out. And that does expedite things, but it's still darn slow. It would take me like 30 minutes to get through a 10-door mission sometimes. When I got this Arcane Bolt, it greatly decreased the time it took me to finish off these missions. And once I figured out like the importance of slotting it getting it early, slotting it hot and heavy, and using it in the rotation after I hold things down. I didn't know I knew containment did extra damage. I saw it every time I popped up on my T1, T2 powers, but it just made me shrug my shoulders because double of nothing is nothing. If your car is stuck in first gear and going 10 miles an hour, and you take it to a mechanic and he's like, okay, I fixed it, it's going twice as fast now. And you're like, that's still only 20 miles an hour. That's controllers. That's a problem with defenders as well, by the way. They get 30% extra damage in solo, but it doesn't matter because it's 30% of 20 miles an hour. Having a hard time hitting single target damage and not having to worry if my imps are going to hit it would be nice. Yeah, I haven't got the imps yet. So I can tell you that in Homecoming server, the controllers can actually control their pets, unlike dominators. So you should have control over who your imps are attacking, I'd like to think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Does anybody else in the chat want me to do something or something else? I could either do more of this character, or I could go and I think somebody asked for some high level stuff, or I could play my melee character and then just do what I was doing anyways. I don't care. I'm an open book. I'm an open book. Was a firekin with stealth, leadership, leap, and speed. I mean, leadership is going to be pretty good on a controller, you know, with pets. It's going to help them all out, so I think that's a great idea. Stealth for helping you not to get, you know, immediately killed when you turn around corners. Never a bad idea. Yeah. Make the blue. You're right. I need to make the blue. Thank you. Bring forth a flash of fire, disorient. Repel, siphon speed, slowing the movement and attack rate while boosting your own. Slicey, stranger recharge. Ooh, plus 20% to my recharge for 1 minute when I use this. Increased density is... That's for increasing an ally. Recharge is nice. Disorienting a group. Minute 30 cooldown. AoE. Kind of an oh shit power probably. Ooh, that's a tough one. Ooh, I think I will do. I like to get my primaries out of the way first, I suppose. Okay. Alright. Hey, Eurical, thank you for jumping in. I hope you're having a great day. I have a lot of controllers, and I think the Imps are the same as Phantom Army. No control over the... But you do have control on Homecoming over pets nowadays. I can show you on another controller that I actually have pets on. But you have control over pets on Homecoming. To be clear. It's a Homecoming thing. Okay, we're going to make this character blue, which I think is the best idea someone has ever said. We're going to have a blue outfit. Yeah, I know kinetic or fire imps have been a little, for some reason in my head, I think they're weird, and I think that they may not be controllable, but then again, I think they are, so I'm not super sure. Let's see here. Let me make sure I save this. Let me see. If I save this and I load this, can I load Flicker Fuse? Ugh, no, we need to fix. We need to save her old outfit back. Let me save this. Save this as Flicker Fuse. Flicker Fuse red. Now we need to make a Flicker Fuse blue. Yeah. Earth control. I play Homecoming, so I'd love to see that. Yeah, I can show you the pets. I can control, because I have the dark pet. On my ice, I don't have ice pet yet. Yeah. I don't have enough high-level controllers, because I didn't want to play them before. Now I want to play them non-stop. They're great. Yeah, I do remember the imps being a little odd back in the day, and I would not swear in a stack of Bibles you can control them, but I would say I'll have to get my character up to that level to see. You know what we could do? We could fire up the test server if you guys want. I could fire up the test server. We could find out. Take me 3 minutes, and we could show you the fire imps. After I make this character blue, very important. I make this character blue. Wanderer, give yourself a medal. Did you do it yet?
Give myself a medal?
Yeah, it's a great idea. You should totally give yourself a medal. Right? Weren't you the blue guy idea?
No.
Oh, was that you, Kai? One of you guys had the idea to make her all blue. It wasn't me. Blue flames. Okay, whatever. Fine, it was my idea all along. Yes, my original idea. Yeah.
I was just making a country song reference, but I didn't say anything about making her blue.
Yeah, like blue fire. Oh, I love she already looks pretty cool. This is great. Let's see here. Let's do the Let's see, the hair. The hair. CO devs, the devs understood customization. Oh yeah, they did. For the triple pets like PA and imps, it's no control. Oh. It's in for the single pets. Okay, well there's one way to find out. I'm all about doing things for science. Oh, that's kind of interesting when you get into a red here. Oh, it really does a nice job on the wings. That's pretty cool. Ah! Let's do the hair. Do I want to go with white hair or super blue? Flamey hair. Too bad you can't have like a flaming head. Maybe you can. I need to make sure that she doesn't come across as an ice, but rather like it's a blue flame. But that probably comes most in the auras, wisp path auras, rainbow movement only. Can we do fire, blazing movement only? Yeah, blue fire. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Blazing movement only. That's cool. And then, or flying only. Let's do flying only. Rocket boots jump. Rocket boots fly. Blazing. So is there no blazing flying only? Well, Mario 25, I think I'm just going to stick with my initial plan. Pets are coming soon. I'll just keep hitchhiking on Task Force, LOL. I think even, it's easy to respec, and my advice would be go ahead and do it now anyways, because even with pets, it's better with Arcane Bolt kicking ass, especially against bosses, lieutenants. It's just going to help you get through them so much faster. What the hell is all this? Yeah. Let's see here. Back detail, wings. Wings. Let's see if we can do like a red wing secondary color on that. That's pretty cool. The customization on this, man. I mean, this is the real end game right here. It's just playing with these all day. Yeah, I would absolutely say take Arcane Bolt, even if... Whoa, what happened to her skin? Oh, I accidentally changed the skin color. Great. I hope I didn't like change her skin color for whatever it was before. Oh, well. Primary, secondary powers. Fire control. Ring of Fire. Original Bright Fire. Original Bright Fire. Original Bright Fire. Original Bright Fire. All right, and then match colors across power sets, and we are going for fiery blue, super bluey flames. Maybe a little darkness blue in there. Maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah, super buy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, maybe a little extra blue in there. Yeah, that works for me. And then kinetics. I think I just have kinetics as original for now. Epic Power Pull, we also need to change the Arcane Bolt because that's a very important part of the thing. We'll make it bright or dark bright, and we need blue Arcane Bolts. Yeah, Fiery Bolts. Arcane Power. Is that a thing? Oh, that's for when you're doing Mystic Flight. Bright, now, minimal. Okay, and then Translocation, bright minimal. Okay, that should work. 23,000, I can afford that. Yay. Blue fire lady. Okay. I spent too much in creator making outfits, too much time in creator making common afflictions. Yeah, right? Absolutely. Okay. Let's do this, guys. Oh, I didn't save it. I should save it. Let me just save this real quick. I'm like doing all that work and then, you know. I always like to save my outfits. Let's do this. Taylor, save. Flicker fuse, blue. No, blue. Okay. Save. Done. All right. So if we go to Homecoming, we go to Open Beta. Oh man, I wish I could get like a blue picture of her on Gemini. It's not been in a good mood lately though, let me tell you. That thing has not been in a good mood lately. City of Heroes. Let me see if I have any controllers here. No controllers. So we're going to create a controller. We're going to turn down the settings because the music's blasting in my ears. Crowd control. Controller. We're going for fire. Ring of fire. We're doing kinetics. Transfer. The nice thing is we can just load up flicker fuse blue. There we go. Flicker test. I want to see what anime style would be not. That would be nice. We're taking a look into Flicker Fuse's future. Let's go ahead and go into the freebies menus and set level 230. Alright, this should be pretty easy to do. Char. Oh, char. The pop-ups are what kill me. It's like you're dealing with like pop-ups in a website and you just keep saying cancel, cancel, close, 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 cancel, cancel, close, close, close. I'm gonna put Mystic Flight in here, or not Mystic Flight, Arcane Bolt, to show you why it's probably important, even if I have Fire Imps going around. Honestly, I should have picked him up or picked it up a level earlier, but that's okay. It's just a test character. It's fine. Glad to hear you, by the way, compliments, realized company. I know, right? It's like so many pop-ups in this game. And it'll come at like the worst times when you're in the middle of doing something. Ugh. It's horrible. And let's see here. Siphon speed. I guess I'll take that. Cinders. Left helpless, choking. Oh, it's one of those things that has their new idea, which is things have incremental cost based on how many enemies you're affecting. Ew, yuck. Whoever came up with that idea. Bad idea, bad. Let's see, you can hasten a target, movement, attack speed, and everything else is increased. Let's see, this lasts for... What's the recharge time on this? Oh, 2 seconds. Oh, jeez. 50% recovery rate for 2 minutes. Holy shiz. Wow, speed boost is insane. 50, wait, so this affects everybody in a radius. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, you know, when people were like, oh, Phil, just play this, just play this. The controllers are great if you play this. It's like, the pets that you're talking about are up in the 20s. Like, that isn't easy for somebody like me to work my way up to that solos all the way. I'm sure that works for somebody, but... Speed boost is insane. That is insane bullshiz. Bonfire. Yeah, I have no clue how good Bonfire is. We're on a test thingy, so who cares? The effective heroes can jump incredible distances and then they give you a power that all it does is this thing just increases your jump distance. Okay. I guess. Sure. Do I have speed yet? I'm gonna take speed for more reduction, I suppose. It's why I don't get tasks from task forces. PA is like level 16. What is PA? Personal assistant? Here's my firearms finally. Firearms can be healed and buffed like any teammate. So that's cute. Let's see. Transference drains some of their endurance and transfer endurance to all nearbys near affected foe. You can choose transfer to recover endurance with yourself as well as your allies. 30-second cooldown. Nice endurance buff. Hard to say no to that. Oh, Phantom Army. Yeah, the Phantom Army you get at level 16. That's true. In fact, I think my Dominator gets it at 18 or something like that. But anyways, but it's not good for the first few levels you get. I mean, it's good, but it's not great because it's on a 4-minute cooldown. But maybe if you had radiation, maybe you get faster than that. But I'm nowhere close to having a perma army. Thankfully, I'm using like Arcane Bolt and stuff to get through stuff anyway. So, Fulcrum Shift, of course. Who hasn't heard of Fulcrum Shift? Even I've heard of Fulcrum Shift, and I live in a cave. All right. So, am I level 30 now? I'm level 30. All right. So we're just going to go ahead. Oh my gosh, these powers are all over the place. Let's take a look at these powers here. We're going to put that down. We got our little fire imps up here. Let's call our little fire imps out. Hey, fire imps, how are you doing? All right. Siphon Speed, Mystic Flight, Cinders, Bonfire, Arcane Bolt. I don't know what half this shit does. So we have pet controls here, attack, follow, whatever. Now, will they actually do it? Let's go find out. Because the whole purpose of doing this was really just to see. Oh, let's go find level 30 area. Let's do this right. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's really good. It's meta for a reason, Master. So, yeah, I totally agree with you, man. Like, I'm sure it's really, really good. Now, the funny thing is I tend to resist meta play. But, yeah, I know it's pretty good. Yeah, so I think you can tell them what to do, but let's find out for a fact, right? Let's go find some things. Plus, I think we wanted to help show... we want to help show Flea, I think it is, that there might be a good reason to have... there might be a good reason to still have... whatchamacallit, Arcane Bolt here when we're at level here. All right, so let's see if we can tell these guys to attack. Go attack them. There they go. We'll Ring of Fire them. We'll Siphon Power. We're going to Siphon Speed. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. Now, what we're seeing here is the fire imps are going crazy. They're doing their thing, right? I'm going to kinetics them up as much as I can. I wouldn't say these things are exactly blowing my socks off in killing speed here. Yeah, now Phantom Army's a temporary pet, so I think the Phantasmal Doohickey you get at level 20-something can be controlled, but not the Phantom Army. That, I believe, yeah. 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 But now, oh, you know what? They're not enhanced for damage. Let's do enhancements, right? Crafted IOs, auto enhance. Let's do basic SOs, okay? Now if we take a look, they don't do it the same way I would do it, but it's close enough. We've given Fire Imps recharge. What the fuck? No. Where's damages? How do I give myself a bunch of damages? Freebies menu. Crafted IOs. Can I just get uncommon... single origins? What am I again? What did I pick? Oh gosh, I don't remember what the hell I picked. IOs, very rare. Training origins, dual origins. Very rare. Popular uniques. Basic. Aha, basic. Damage. Get 3, get 5, get 10. Level 30s. Okay, here we go. Let's bug these little buggers up. What did they do with Arcane Bolt, by the way? Endurance reduction? Are you effing serious? Okay, whatever. All right, this isn't a full build test. Just understand, not a full build test, okay? All right. All right. So, all right. So those some guys over there, right? Where'd my fire imps go? Here's more fire imps. All right, now go attack them. All right, let me put this over here and put this over here. All right, there's a lieutenant with a couple of these guys. Okay, that's a little bit more impressive. So we can tell them to focus on this lieutenant here. So you guys can tell me, yeah, you guys can tell me if you think I'm wrong. At the moment, oh, we got an alignment mission, yay. Let's do an alignment mission. Let's pump this bad boy up to ×2. Which is what I usually do with level 30 characters. It's in Brickstown? Are you serious? Freebies menu. Travel unlocks. Long range teleporter. Freebies menu. Other unlocks. Consumables. Unlock all destinations. Okay. Bricks, Brickstown. All right. I don't know if Lee is still here. Alright, so we're going to test this out, Flea. And we're going to set this for 2, and we're going to put bosses on. Well, why would there be a... I mean, things get more hit points as you level up too, Master, so why would they suddenly become super great at high level? Yeah, we're doing some test server shenanigans, Flipster. So we're asking, first of all, we have determined through science that you can control your fire imps nowadays. Aren't they cute? Oh, can I recolor them to be blue like me? Anyways, and then number 2 is we're now going to see whether or not it's worth keeping Arcane Bolt if you're fighting a bunch of things, right? Where did my imps go? Stay on this person, you evil little bloodsuckers. So I'm putting Fulcrum Shift. I'm putting all the things on the imps I can. And you know what? That's not... Okay, so that first pack, not too shabby. With me buffing the hell out of them, they're getting through things about as fast as I would expect from a mastermind. And whatnot. Oh, hello, found some more longbow upstairs. Oh, good grief. I can't, wow, this speed is killing me. Wow, this is, does it have to be so fast? Gosh, I can't even see what they're doing up there. Yeesh. Oh, the poor little guys get hurt too. That's most unfortunate. What's the cooldown on fire imps? 4 minutes, like most pets. Good to know. So if they die, you're out for a while. Yeah, I think there's a way to turn that off, right? Here's the thing of going conceal leadership, combat jumping, and stacks some Lux of the Gambler recharges and all defensive powers. Yeah, later on you definitely get into all the shenanigans and stuff. And maybe Arcane Bolt becomes less and less of something that's valuable if your like main purpose in life is to be the person who, you know, stacks up fulcrum shifts for your beast. Yeah, little buggers are definitely cranking out some good damage. No doubt about that. Fulcrum shifts on one heck of a cooldown though, but yeah, I think I can smell what you're kind of laying down with these things. They do feel pretty darn good as far as pets go, and with the connects buffing the hell out of them. Oh, now here's a boss. This is where it gets good. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to go forward and attack that there boss. This is already turning out to be a little concerning. Oh, yeah, we're dead. This is, to be fair, like this is some crazy building setup. I'm not getting like good line of sight on enemies and stuff with controller. You really got to have a lay of the land. I can't see what's around corners and everything like that. So well, I could definitely see. I think with this particular build, if you're trying to min-max it to death, and I don't know either because I don't do super high-level play, but my gut is telling me that you're going to keep Arcane Bolt until it's not useful anymore, which is somewhere between 25 and 50. You know, like at some point your time you're going to be, the thing about kinetics is that you're almost always buffing, right? It's one of those power sets where you're constantly hitting buttons when your recharges are going full speed and stuff. And you got all the hastens and stuff like that. And there's usually more value. There might be more value at that point to doing that than throwing in an arcane bolt here and there. Now, does that happen at 25, at 30, 35, 40? When you get certain power set bonuses, when you don't, you're just going to have to feel that part of it out. And then you'll just spec out of it at that point. That's not a big deal to spec in and out of things in this game because they make it, oh, my fire imps are on 4-minute cooldown. But they make it easy. I have super speed. Don't I have hasten? I thought I took hasten on this character. Super speed and super phase. And somehow, I do have hasten. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't take the hasten, but whatevs. Yeah. Maybe your 50 trollers use it, but less often. Yeah. Bells and whistles. Yeah, I would just get in there. The nice thing to keep in mindfully is that you can respec whenever you want, and it's not a big deal. They give you a bunch of free respecs, like 1 every 10 levels, and then afterwards you buy them off the auction house for like $1 million a pop or something. You buy the recipes that let you respec. Yeah, I thought I took hasten. I maybe I didn't pick it so on this test character, but yeah, obviously I would take hasten. It's kind of a no-brainer. Oh, the pets are already near dead. Wow. Okay. Yeah. These pets, they aren't that great. I gotta hold things down harder. Wow. You know what? So I'm going in there with the wrong mentality. I'm going in there with a mastermind mentality instead of a controller mentality. I need to lock down enemies first before I yeah. Well, I couldn't even heal. I started off with heal, but yeah, it just it was brutal. That was brutal. Yeah, I had like heals like my third thing I was gonna hit, but they were already dying. I gotta lock things down. I gotta think like a controller and not like a mastermind. These pets aren't nearly as durable as masterminds. They didn't take their vitamins, boys and girls. Oh, it's on a 2-minute cooldown. Screw that shit. We'll be here all night. The poor things died so fast, I never even got a chance. Well, interesting. Yeah, boy. My personal take. Well, I need more time. I need this to come off a cooldown. Sigh. Ah, goodness gracious. Can't believe I don't have hasten on this character. Smoking hot feet, I could probably... Let me just take hasten now before I forget about it. Yeah, I end up picking super speed for some silly reason. Incapacitates foes around the caster by whirling cinders around them. Increase density and repel. So that's an ally. Speed boost. You hasten a targeted ally, which, okay, that's what we want. Okay. Transference, Fulcrum Shift. All right. So don't worry, we do that to Arcane Bolt. Do the heck out of those things. Fire Cage. What do I have left? One slot left? Sure. Then you have to sign all these things. This is what takes forever. Oh, jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we should put a reduction in those 5. No wonder they had a couple of 5 reductions in there in case the little buggers die. You know? The little buggers die. Well, I'm doing this for myself too. I need to know how to level up this character when I get to those. When I get up to those 20s. This is educational for myself. And I'm sure this is great streaming entertainment for the millions and millions of YouTube viewers. Let's see. Endurance reduction. No, I don't really need those. Fly. Sure. Put a fly in. Mystic Flight. Arcane Bolt. Arcane Bolt. Arcane Bolt. Endurance modification. Endurance reduction. Do we not have... recharge reduction stuff? Lovely. Is that what I'm worried about most in Bonfire? Holds. Okay, Cinder holds. Sure. Accuracy. Yeah. Speed boost. Siphon speed. Yeah, I think oh, shit pickles. I didn't put more slots in the hasten. It was off the screen. I didn't see it. Son of a gun. Sigh. Screw Bonfire. I need like 3 slots in hasten. Speed boost, whatever. I just want to see how this works without... when it's properly recharging. Yeah, Siphon Speed gives you recharge as well, so you need that to be accurate. You need all these to be accurate. So many dragon of icons over. I don't like dragging things over. Okay, cinders. I don't know, cinders even do good damage? Why would they have a damage component thingy to it? Oh, it doesn't. It's Bonfire. Bonfire does good damage. Well. Take that. Hold for cinders. Right. Hold for cinders. You can only put 1 hold in cinders? Oh, that's a jump. Let's put that in there. Let's pop some of that in there. Alright. I'm going to just say that for now. We're going to delete these, and I want a bunch of free crafted IOs, basic. Give me recharge reductions. Give me 5 level 30s. Let's pop those in a hasten. Pop one of those over there. Pop these in the fire imps. Poor little buggers just die like nobody's business. Freebies menu. Let's just tell it to fill in the rest with basic. Basic IOs. Hopefully it's smart enough to figure out some of the rest of this. Oh, did it just override everything I did? I just figured fill in the blanks. Well, that's on me for being stupid. At least we got hasten. I guess this is fine. This'll work. I should have just done this to begin with. Okay, fair enough. Let's just get in there and kill some things. Cinders is a CC, yeah. I can tell you that these guys aren't used to having a tank. What guys aren't used to having a tank? Alright, so I'm going to try to do a better job of holding things down. So let's see what I need to hold things. Ring of Fire is only going to immobilize them. Cinders is all around me, PB AoE. Flash Fire is foe disoriented target AoE. And then Bonfire knocks things back. So it's kind of an interesting power set in that regard. Alright, let's just see if we get any luckier against these guys this time. We're going to totally think like a controller this time. Yeah, we got this. Especially against that boss. Nothing could possibly go wrong. We're going to hit him with smoke first. Because smoke doesn't start combat. And then we're going to flash fire. Well, that worked out brilliantly. Wow. Huh. That foe disorient. Well, it's a boss. I don't think the boss killed me that quickly. Huh. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, well, man, yeah, yep. We're gonna exit out this mission. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, this character is not ready for. At least the Fire Imps is coming back faster, but this character I don't think is ready for anywhere close to being ready for this. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think the Fire Imps aren't that tanky at all. The controls are a bit flimsy on fire. Flash fire. I didn't have a lot of foes being disoriented because they turn around and just mowed me down with an alpha strike. They just totally mowed me down with an alpha strike there. And then your other big AoE hold is a PB AoE, which requires you getting in close. So this is there are some sacrifices being made to make this work. You're totally confused on what, Fleet? It doesn't help that this is, I don't know why it's leveling things to level 31. It'd be nice if it was level 30, but well, the question too is at level 30, level 30, what can this do? And at level 30, I'm not super sure. I know people, so people normally, when they talk to me about this stuff, they're almost always coming from a perspective of level 50 with a whole bunch of bonuses and shit. And yeah, everything to me feels powerful at level 50 with a ton of bonuses and set bonuses and shit like that. I'm most interested in like these lower levels where you're like, okay, now you do have to rely mostly on your powers. You're not going in with 75 damage resistance, right? To back you up and stuff like that. You need to know your powers and know them well to do the harder content. So let's set difficulty to normal. Let's see if I can reset the mission here. Right, siphon speed does give stuff, sure. Alright, there's my little guys. Where is my hasten power? Hasten, stay right there. Alright, this time we're just doing like normal difficulty to start off with. Just to get used to it. And what is Ring of Fire? Range moderate, full. That's your full immobilize. Fire Cages is full immobilize. Target AoE. That's your single target immobilize, which I'm not going to use a whole lot. Cinders is. Let's see here. Oh gosh, I hate this setup here. I'm at 50, 40 plus at Rock Stars. Getting there isn't always easy. Special Soul Earth Control is another one that can be really tough. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm not super impressed by, you know, the whole, oh, I've got this build at this level, you know. And a lot of times people watch me stream and they'll say these things, and it's like, if you look at the stream, you can see I'm doing level 30. You know, and so it's like, yeah, I'm sure at level 50 it is super awesome, whatever. Super happy joy, but yeah. But until then, gosh, that speed on that siphon speed thing is insane. Yeah, definitely much easier when you're not dealing with bosses and stuff. Yeah, the whole thing with kinetics too, and this is very different than obviously some of the other controllers I play, you got so many of these buffs that you have to like do pretty often, right? Like you're pumping out the fulcrum shift, the transfusion, the siphon speed, the siphon power. By the time you do all four of those, it's a lot of every battle buffing, right? Like with empathy, you just buff once and you're good for like 2 to 5 minutes or whatever the case may be. But I think this could still be super good. I think during the leveling process, I think this is going to be a really tight deal. Don't get me wrong. But it's definitely going to be figuring out the balance, you know, as you play the game. If you're doing this like solo and maybe you get the groups a little bit bigger than this, but you're like, you got to figure out the balance of how many, in those first 4 powers that you're using, how many of those are going to be kinetics powers and how many of those are going to be like arcane bolt and holds, right? And what's the optimal mix to get through solo content before you've got all the wicked improvements and stuff? Yeah, it definitely is a heavy group to play, and then you got to consider missed chances as well. It's definitely got a lot of stuff going on, especially to maximize, what you're getting out of it. So you like to pump the kin to get transference. Yeah, easier controller with illusion and dark. Yeah, but this is pretty cool. I'll go back to the live game. Arch villain Arachnos bases with no hostile creatures. Auto XP bonus mission completion. Ooh, that looks interesting, Yuki. I'll have to look that up. So if it's just Arachnos' base, that's there's one in Granville, the big one. Firekin's a lot of work and slower for a long time. Well, and it's really that's what we're talking about, Masters. I think right now with Arcane Bolt, I actually enjoy playing this character, and I level pretty fast with her. I'm not going to argue that I level as fast as a brute, but I level pretty fast. Like, it's a lot of fun. The car runs me over for standing in the middle of the street. Wait, what mission was I at? Defeat Sarah, select task. What mission was I doing on here? Return to contact. Return to contact. Well, Ouroboros to the contact, but you're telling me to go over there? Huh. Weird. Oh wait, no, that's an event. Contact. It can't... Oh, I'm not in an Ouroboros anymore. I must have accidentally quit out of it. Boy, I'm having a rough go today of things today. To hire a sidekick, some builds with solo play would really benefit from it. Oh, check it out. They're getting the blue fire flames. Isn't that cool? As I'm getting my ass kicked by this guy. I don't know where he came from, but holy shiz. I know where he's going. That was a little crazy for a minute there. Wow, where are you guys coming from? So you can see right here, without pets, I took down. This was a little hairy fight here, but I've taken them pretty much down with Arcane Bolt. And yeah, the blue flames look awesome. Yeah. Yeah. But she did pretty well. That's what I'm saying. It's a fun way to play. Like there's a bunch of guys there and you just basically tie them all down. Do that to yourself. Well, you gotta like when one breaks free because he thinks he's special. The one thing is like you have to kind of keep in mind who's held, who's immobilized, who's got health, who needs to die, you know. You do have to play you have to play this class kind of smart. Wow, he resisted. That's rude. Wow. There he goes. Okay. Die. But I really like it. It is really, really good. New tune idea, Song of Ice and Fire. You know, it'd be really cool. I could make like two characters with the exact same model, one with the red, one with the ice, and they're just like, yeah, two different fairies or something. Yeah, you could do that. Ice and Fairy Fire. Oh, you know what? I have the ice controller. Hold on, let me log out here. I could change the ice controller to this artwork right here, and then they could be. Yeah. Yeah, because on the controller side, I've got the Arctic Bride. So we could turn her into Flicker Ice. I don't know, whatever. But this is my this is the ice cold controller. And then I do have the plant, which don't ask me why it looks like that, but I do have the plant. Arctic Bride has been pretty good. It's on the villain side. So, and then I have my Dominators, and I really love the Dominators. Yeah, the ice powers look really, really great. They really do. So, we've been working hard on leveling up a lot. You can see I played a lot of DOMs. Well, Ice Troller is definitely more fun with Arcane Blast now. Things keep making it super small. I got a video on that Phantom with lots of interesting comments on it. It's easy to find. Just look at my library. It's yeah, how I draw how I come up with the characters. It wasn't too long ago. I put out that video a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. We do need to make a blue version of the fairy, but I don't know if it's gonna. Well, I wonder if I take the original picture and paste it in and say just make this blue. That might be asking for too much. Let's see if it'll let me get a good picture of this character. Let's see what Gemini comes up with. I'll show you how I'm doing one right now. Yeah. Arsenal controller. My Arsenal Dominator is the bomb. So I'm sure it's just as fun on controller. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll do you a solid right here because I need to make Blue Fairy. Now I'm warning you. I've been having some problems with Gemini lately. I don't know why, but lately it has been giving me a bunch of backlips. So you have been warned. But let's see if we can get it to work tonight. Let's see if we can get it to work tonight. If I can get it to come up on the screen, I will. If I can get it to come up on the screen, I will. If I can get it to come up on the screen, I will. All right. So what I do is I take a screenshot of the character and I say, draw this character flying through the air, using blue flame powers in the style of 2020 comics. Make it on a solid black background. All right, let's see how well this one does. Yeah, that's one way to probably do it, KSC. Let's see what it comes up with. Let's see if it does a solid this time. Okay, all right, not shabby, but not what I really want because it's not in the style of like Marvel-y comics like this one is. It's a nice like City of Heroes rendition of the character. Like it's like you took the City of Heroes graphics and you made it better. But it's not quite there yet, right? So we're going to try this again under a new chat. And we'll copy paste the last prompt. But we're going to say in the style of 2020 Marvel Comics. This is what I think like got me in trouble last time. Is I don't think it likes the trumped Marvel Comics, but we'll see. Loading. Oh, here we go. I'm in love. GG. GG, boys. It's done. Mwah. We could do an anime, Princess UK. Would you like an anime version? You can have an anime version. All right, tell you what. Let's do an anime version just for Yuki. Okay? Just for you. I don't do it for anybody else. Okay? Draw this character flying in the style of an anime. Okay? Here we go. Just for Yuki. Oh, wow. That's also impressive, Yuki. Look at that. What do you think of that, Yuki? Now, you guys have to choose for the thumbnail. This one or this one. So anime or Marvel? Anime or Marvel? Right? They're both good. All right, so let's get rid of the background on this.
Are you a hungry kitty?
Boom. Boom.
Are you a hungry little kitty?
Yeah, let's do that.
Hungry kitty? Are you a hungry kitty? Huh?
Let's get rid of a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Get rid of some of that, guys.
Nothing more, boo. Nothing
Some of that. get rid of some of the extra black. It's like cutting off the excess fat. Specify decade, 80s anime. Oh yeah, you can absolutely put in some extra prompts in there and whatever have you. Oh, absolutely. You can definitely do some things with that. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt, no doubt. So you guys can definitely, like you guys were like the second one. I don't know which one's the second one. Was it the anime one? Is that what you guys were saying? The anime one? Let's see if we can get rid of that. A little bit of there and a little bit of there. Just carve some of that off. Nothing big, just a little carve. Cut off some of the fat. That should be good enough. Doesn't have to be exact. All right, so I'll save this one. If I can get a good eraser size here, we'll get rid of that. And we'll save this one as... we'll save this one as City of Heroes characters. This is Flicker Fuse Blue. And then we want to do the anime one. Okay. And then we'll do the anime one real quick. And here's the anime one. And let's see if we yeah, we should print this into the art channel. We have an art channel for this stuff. So if you're on our Discord server, we're sharing artwork pictures of our characters all day long. Lots of character pictures in there. You're welcome to join us. All right, so get rid of a lot of that. What kind of scaling do I have on here? Not a lot. Let's give us some scaling on this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Actually, let me do a higher tolerance. Her eyes are a bit off. When I zoom in on the eyes, it's a bit off. It's definitely a bit off. I might be able to fix that. You definitely ask much of me when you tell me to fix eyes, but we might be able to do it. We might be able to make it bigger, better, faster, stronger. The $6 million eyes. Got more control, right? That's true. That's true. It's absolutely true. I have to say, when we were out holding them with the blue fire powers, it also did look really, really cool. Like that was whoever came up with that suggestion was a very smart person. There's a lot of extra trimming here of all this black, so this takes a hot minute on this one. She's got it all over the place. Probably more so than most other characters I've done. It's definitely a bit more trimming to be done on this one. Unfortunately, Gemini doesn't do transparent backgrounds very well, if at all. And I have tried importing these pictures into like ChatGPT and saying, now remove the background from this picture that Gemini came up with. And it doesn't really do a great job. Well, that guy, you are that guy. You are that guy with the good ideas. Yeah. You are that guy with the good ideas. And we can actually, while I'm thinking about it, I can actually already change that picture there to flicker fuse blue right there. So that's the first picture, right? Right there. Doesn't look too shabby. But boy, the extra things around the flames are definitely working overtime here. All right, that's good enough there. Get rid of a little of the extra in there. Let me do a -2 on that guy right in here. Kind of makes it look a little bit more awesome. It's all about awesomeness, super awesomeness. All right, so that's pretty good. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Most of the time, like on a stream, whoops, that would be the wrong button to press. Most of the time on the stream, you don't really notice the little bits or pieces that are there. But I do like to try to get rid of the big obvious chunks. It's almost kind of, you put on like an audiobook and you just listen to it in the background and you get rid of the black. Get rid of a little bit of that right there. Maybe a little bit of in there. Maybe give that a little bit of a wiggle room with the -1. There we go. Okay, I think that should be probably good enough for our purposes. All right, I'll get rid of that logo right there. Trim off a little bit of the unnecessary box right there. Go ahead and edit that out. Control D, save as. Flicker Fuse Anime. My COH characters. Flicker Fuse Blue Anime. All right, there we go. All right. To trim the black outlines out of the image. Well, I like the black, like the outline right outside the image, but yeah, trust me, I've tried this a couple different ways, and it's not super great. It doesn't get it right. It just, the only thing about her, by the way, let's zoom in on her eyes for a minute, right? So her eyes are a bit off, right? We can have a little fun with this, especially if we considered Flicker Fuse's original eyes. Let me just take a look. I think they were solid color, right? Flicker Fuse, blue, Flicker Fuse, Flicker Fuse, Flicker Fuse. All right, so Flicker Fuse has that going on. That might be a little much, but we could definitely give it the old college try. I don't know if it's gonna come out too good. We can do this as a different layer, so that way we'll call this eyes, and that way or eats or whatever, but that way if I screw it up too bad, you know. All right, so let's make it kind of the color that kind of matches some of her wings or something like that. And trim that down. We're just gonna add a little blue to our lives, right on top of this. We're gonna add, whoa, I lost track where the other eye's at. Now the thing about this one is that this eye just ain't right. This is a little bit of a And it's on the layer underneath, but sometimes it just doesn't understand those eyes should probably be symmetrical. So make it a little bit bigger. Oops, got a little too zoom in there. Huh. Let's get down to a little bit better than that. Again, I don't need them to look exact, but we're going for some similarity here. It's probably a little titch too big. Probably a little too high up. Need that be a little bit more rounded down there. Eye surgery. It's never easy. Never, I say, never. Like the Jim Ross of eyeballs now. Now we're going to take this paintbrush and we're going to make these leaves look really great, right? So if you zoom out, this is starting to look better, right? Now that's the original eyes underneath. Then we're adding a blue layer on top of it to give her more of a fiery look type of deal. Hopefully I picked the right colors here. That's going to be the hardest part. And we're going to go ahead and touch this up just a titch. Yeah, I'm like the freaking Bob Ross of doing these things. We're gonna do a little dabble here, and you don't want to overdo it. Just a little dabble. You just want a little. You just want. I don't even know I'm using the right. What was I using for the tool? That tells you how good I am. I don't remember what tool I was using. Just a little dabble here and a little dabble there. Okay, but don't over dab. That's really important. You want to make sure that you get the saturation just right, but you don't overdo it. Okay? That's important. Now, here's our happy little tree over here. Our happy little eyeball tree over here. We put a little blue here and a little blue over here, but it's just a dabble, okay? You don't want to overdo it. You just want to dab just a little bit. I had a friend who liked to dab, but the problem was that his brushes weren't great, and sometimes he would splotch. You don't want to splotch. I kept telling him you just want to dab. All right? And that should hopefully make her look a little bit more like the other one. I think this right eye is just a little, a little bit on the darker side. You need like a soft eraser to try to lighten that up just a titch to get what's underneath of it. Just a little touch of eraser there, and there we go. It's probably a little bit closer to what we had in here's Flicker Fuse. The other thing was her eyebrows were blue or red, so it'd be nice if the eyebrows kind of matched a color there. Could probably use a little bit of a harder brush on that. Just gonna use a brush. Gonna use a harder brush. We're gonna try a wet round brush, and we're going to go in there. We're gonna draw on some eyebrows. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's probably a little too much. Too much eyebrow. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now you guys are getting it. Now you smell what the rock is cooking. Okay, that's probably still a bit much. Let me try a 3. See if that gets me the coloration I want without being a little too much. Yeah, it's probably good enough for like a zoomed out. If you zoom in, you're like, ooh. But that's the whole point. You go and you make these small changes, and you zoom in, you're like, and if you just make some changes where it's like, ooh, then it will usually work out a little better. Like maybe there's a little too much blue there, so you can just do a little eraser right there and kind of thin it out just a titch. So Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Flicker Fuse's hair is all orange. This one's silver. That's fine. I think that's the color of the character. I guess that's why her eyebrows are kind of silver, because it's kind of probably the color of her hair, not necessarily the color of her fire. So that's probably good to go ahead and... Whoa, that eraser's way too big. Okay. Probably okay just to erase those eyebrows. And just kind of leave it. Okay, anywho. Anime lady's all done. And so we have both now. Now we have both guys. I hope you're happy now. So here's, thanks to your help, here is Flicker Fuse Anime Lady. There we go. What do you think? Did she come out okay? Is she stream worthy? We practically have to do a mission with her now, right? It would be like a crime if I didn't do a mission with her. This is one I've been hammering my head on for a while now. Perez Park, the Hollows. You want me to go to Steel Canyon? Yeah, music. Oh, they stopped the music. I grab a badge while I'm there. Go to Steel Canyon. Okay, I don't know if I really want the team size of 2 for this one because it's a bear as it is. Like, she takes out a lieutenant in, like, just a few hits. Last 10 years of practice, I practiced drawing prints like GIMP and Alpaca. Nice, nice. I use Clip Studio Pro. It's just what I'm used to, so I'm able to do things. I don't do a lot anymore, but You know, when I need to do some quick editing, that's what I usually use. I also use this very old program called Paint Shop Pro. Yeah, she kills them off pretty good right now. She does a good job. She's a good controller. So you want that arcane bolt to come up as often as possible, so you can just keep doing that. It's great. They enjoy being in the blue flames, right? Yeah. She does really well. No problems. Like, oh, have a nice day. It's so beautiful. Brings a tear to my eye. Sniffle, sniffle. Yeah, no problem, fandom. I love making I have so many pictures of all my different characters. I use them on my streams all the time. You see on my thumbnails. I definitely show off the characters that I have. It has brought me a lot of joy. It has really, you know, just made this game a bit more alive for me. Because it's nice seeing my characters as if they were drawn by a real artist. You know, and I get some pushback like, oh, you're putting artists out of business, whatever. But, you know, I wouldn't have the money to pay artists to do this. It's not something I would be able to get through the budget here at the household. To pay a real artist to do all of my characters. I might be able to afford maybe, you know, one, you know, for a birthday present or something. It'd be one of my characters, but that'd be about it. Yeah. Well, back when I was drawing, I was just pen and paper on the. So we were so broke as kids. I had to, you know, our school had bulletins that we would post in every classroom on paper, and I would ask if when they were done with the bulletins, you know, at the end of the day, if I could take them down and keep the paper so I could draw on the back of the papers. So I would have drawing paper. That's, you know, how tough times were back then. Absolutely. Absolutely. Times were tough. But, you know, you didn't think too much of it back then because that's just the way things were. Oh, yeah. And I did a video about why, you know, my stance on AI and why, you know, I personally use AI. I can understand why people have a concern with it. I don't know enough about, you know, the details to know every single angle of it or whatever have you, but yeah. And honestly, like anybody worth their salt who's paying for that kind of artwork should be able to look at that and be able to tell it's still AI. It's getting better, but you can still tell it's AI. Well, is that gonna die? I was wondering if he's gonna die. So, having done this mission with a whole bunch of my low level characters, I really do think she's doing a pretty decent job of getting through this. The only problem is these big boys right here are very resistant to mez. It's taken a couple of applications to get some of these under control, and that's kind of slowing down the process just a titch. I was looking for my glove. Can't find my glove. Might have to actually turn on the light here. Hey, kitty. Here, glove. Huh. Glove? Any glove around here? Glove? Great, lost my glove. Yeah, I can't find my glove. Hey, John, how are you doing tonight? Oops. That's a few too many things to be fighting at once. We're going to do a little controller. What we call this controller kiting. Oh, for the love of Pete, can I get you guys to stay still and stop running towards me? Wow, these things are so mez resistant. Oh my gosh. You're invalidating my class choices. Holy shit. Holy cow. That's ridiculous. Like, what's the point of playing a controller if you know you're gonna have things, oh, controller's the best at holding, ha 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 ha. Yeah, until they just go middle finger, middle finger, middle finger, middle finger, and they just say, you know, middle finger to all your hold powers. I was throwing holds left and right, and they were just like all over it. Oh. Like, that's a little thing that we call bullshit. Bullshit. So here's a fun fact. You know, I always talk about the things that City Heroes I love, but there's a lot of things that, you know, you can question as far as game design go. So in a lot of modern MMOs, including like World of Warcraft that came out 20-some years ago, they don't have enemies that hard counter you like that just invalidate your class, right? So if you're playing a fire mage, you won't run into a bunch of enemies that are immune to fire. In fact, you know, if an enemy's resistant to fire, I think you maybe see like a 5% dip or something, right? Like it's very, very minor. And because, you know, if they had a bunch of enemies like that, then it would totally not only validate, but make it very hard for you to get dungeons and stuff. You know, oh, you can't come in this dungeon because you're a fire mage. You know, we only take ice mages in that dungeon because everything is, you know, whatever, super resistant to ice. City of Heroes didn't care about any of that shit. All right, City of Heroes is like, yeah, no, we have enemies that just hard counter mez. Good luck. And they do just suck in general. That's true. They absolutely do. Oh, did I miss with that? Son of a gun. And stay dead. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does make it unique, right? You don't have too many MMOs that do that. There are some old MMOs that do this kind of stuff. I'm sure there's got to be another MMO that has some hard counters like this, but damn. City Heroes is the only one I play. Alright, give me 1 second. I take the cat to litter pan. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, you know what's really fun, guys? Check it out. You're playing a dominator, a psychic dominator who never gets any pets, right? Psychic, mental, whatever, mental control dominator. Never gets any pets, right? And so basically, they don't give you any pets because I'm guessing since you can, basically control people, right? Confuse them. That's why they don't give you any pets. There's just one small problem. On the villain side, half the time you're fighting Arachnos people, and guess what? They're very resistant to holding powers or confusion, mezzas, whatever. Oh, dude, I died so many times on that Dominator. It wasn't even funny. Oh, dude, that guy! I almost uninstalled the game yesterday doing this mission right here because I couldn't find the last person. I spent on the stream yesterday over an hour in this mission. I was swearing up a storm. I was not a happy camper. I almost uninstalled this game and installed World of Warcraft. Any of y'all been keeping up with World of Warcraft news? Oh god, I break free so easy. Perhaps you can't think of an email at moment of. Yeah. So, I'm a solo player, as you guys know. I like playing MMOs, but I like to play them alone. Sometimes with another person. They've been doing a lot of good things for solo and duo players over in World of Warcraft. And one of the things they just announced is basically raid-sized dungeons, but for 1 to 3 players. Doing the same mechanics they've had in their delves, which if you don't know, delves are been more like bite-sized dungeon experiences with some raid mechanics. But they can usually be done in 15 minutes. And you can do them solo with a friend. You can take an NPC with you. And that NPC, if you're like a DPS, he can be a tank, that sort of thing. If you're a healer, he'll be a tank, and as you heal him, if you overheal him, he'll do more and more damage, which is really a great idea, I think. Yeah. So that's been really kind of cool. They definitely have been trying to make the game a lot more alt-friendly, solo-friendly, all that other jazz. There's still plenty there for people who like their raids and stuff, but... Yeah. Yeah, they've been doing a lot. That's aside from like the player housing thing that people have been asking for years, and that's been a big hit. But delves, I did a bunch of delves a few months ago, and I thought it was a really cool mechanic, especially when I like to play support. And this is one of the reasons I like masterminds in this game. Your job as a mastermind in these games is usually to be support. And I just think they did a really fantastic job with it. It was a lot of fun. I got a big guy after me. I got a big guy after me. After me, yes, after me. I got a big guy after me. It takes like 2 holding powers to hold these guys down. Okay, so that's that hostage done. I like how they got the computer on the desk there and everything. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is a little tough for this controller because these guys are resistant, man. They are more than just a little resistant. Can we one of those lower levels? Stun grenade? Yeah, maybe. One thing I have figured out is if I throw down the fire cages first, and then I follow it up with a mez that with the single mezzes, that helps a lot. Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! No! Fuck! There's a lot of them over there. Probably gonna back myself up anymore. I'm surprised they didn't catch me. Am I stealthed? I'm surprised they didn't catch me. I don't know if I ever put a stealth on this character or not. No, I don't even have stealth on there. I'm surprised they didn't see me. Look at how much of the clumpies they're there. Normally this wouldn't be a big problem, but with all their mez resistance, man, that's gonna bite donkey balls, and they're all clumped. I don't like the way this looks, guys. The minute I attack any of them, maybe this guy wanders far enough away, maybe I won't piss them all off. Okay, I basically sniped one of them. Yeesh. Okay, they're not all coming at me at the same time. That's good. Okay. All right. This looks better. This is a little more manageable. Not much, but a little. Ah, I'm actually able to pick these guys off one at a time. Nice. Now, where did you come from? What the hell is DFB? It's basically an early level raid style dungeon you can join right from level 1. People usually run it to get their characters up those early levels pretty quickly. Though you really don't earn any merits like you do with normal stories through it, so you'll end up broke at 15 or 20 rather than having, 10 million or so in influence, but you do you. It is very fast, and it's very popular. Star Wars Galaxies? No, that's also on my list to kind of solo and stream and see if I can get, if anybody wants to chit chat and hang out on YouTube while I play that one. That would be another fun one to do. Yeah, I heard some of them. Yeah. Some of the story arcs missions there are really, really good. I love City of Heroes, but its story writing leaves a lot to be desired. There's a couple of humorous moments here and there and stuff like that, but nothing, that really hits the beats of a good RPG. So I would like to play Star Wars Galaxies MMO at some point, and it'd be more fun if there was a community that wanted to watch me do it while I was doing it and chat about it. It's always more fun with community. What the heck? What happened? Yeah, I mean, I'll occasionally use power leveling to get past the first 10 or whatever levels. 15 levels, so I can get an Ouroboros at least. What the hell's going on? Did you guys see that? The enemies just disappeared. But now the hostage won't free because the enemies never died. I think my game's just bugged out, guys. Combat logged? What does that mean? They teleported off map? What does that mean, they teleported off map? Oh, it's just a joke. So now the office worker won't free because they're just so technically alive. It's the weirdest thing. There was no animation or nothing. It was just like a light switch pop and suddenly the enemies were all gone. Oh. What's this? Well, this is going to make me very unhappy. So, oh, now look at this. Look at that. That's really weird. Oh, it freed that hostage back there. So they somehow came over to here and now she's free. That was fucking weird. Well, another weird thing about this mission is when you get down to the last person, it doesn't show you on the map where the last one's at like most other things do in life. So you're left just scratching your head, running all the way up and down the dungeon over and over again. Yeah, I don't think it's there. Pop tags instance. It was the weirdest bug thing I've ever seen. At least, like I think one of you said, they teleported a bit, and so I did find them later on. But I don't know how that would impact other areas of the game. Played a bit partway through Blaster and Sentinel. Yeah, they're both pretty fun. Blaster and Sentinel are in a really good spot. You just have to be more careful with Blaster. Like Blaster is more risk, more reward in terms of how fast it blows things up, you know, and stuff. Oh, that hurt. That was just for looking at me the wrong way. Yeah, a Blaster, I think Sentinel's much better for newer players to run through. You'll have a lot of fun with them, and they're getting a big buff here in the next few months, so. It's definitely worth playing them up. Because who doesn't like buffs? I see you have flip your own dudes, right? Oh, where'd you guys come from? That's really weird. Everything must go. Everything must die. Everything must go. Oh, 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 shit pickles. Boom. Okay, not too shabby. That mission's done. Alright guys, I gotta go into bed. I hope you had fun with me tonight. I had fun hanging out with y'all and doing drawings and new cinders. New things. New character portrait art. All that jazz. Really appreciate it. Appreciate Yuki hanging out with me tonight. Had a really good time. COT mages are just as bad. Yeah. It's been it was definitely a rough adventure. It's definitely a rough adventure, but we'll probably be around tomorrow for some streaming at some point. I don't know when. We'll see. Maybe in the morning, maybe the night, maybe both. Who knows? But I do appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. We had a pretty good turnout tonight. So for a non-scheduled stream, especially, that's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. And oh yeah, we are up to really quick here. Let me see here. We are up to, if I can find it, 973 subscribers. So 27 away from a big 1000. So yeah, it was fun hanging out with you, Mastar and Flea and Phantom. Thank you guys, KSE, John, Scam, Karis, Masta, again. Flipster. We had a really good time. We had a lot of good chats. We had a lot of good fun playing together and talking and sharing your opinions and stuff. You're welcome to join our Discord server as always. Links in the description. Something. And yeah, so I'll catch y'all next time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may God bless you.